Let's talk about Hawkeye. So this is the Matt Fraction Hawkeye run, and it seems like a lot of the Disney Plus shows pulled from it. Let's talk about some of those parallels first. Mild spoilers for the MCU. First of all, you could never do a straightforward adaptation of this run in the MCU just because of the history of Clint's character in those films. The case in point for this is what happened to Natasha in Endgame. The Disney Plus show is almost wrestling with this in every episode. It even colors his relationship with Kate. In the comic book run, Natasha's still alive. None of that subtext is there. A few other core differences. I mean, in the comics, he's single. He's living in New York. The whole thing really centers around this apartment complex that he's taken responsibility for and trying to help and protect his neighbors from the tracksuit mafia, which we also see in the show. But in the show, obviously, he's married. He's just visiting New York for, however long. Having said that, you can see a lot of overlap and you can see that there's a great appreciation for the show. I mean, there's so many fun little references and Easter eggs, like when Clint teaches Kate the coin flip thing, talking about the boomerang arrow, Clint's hearing loss in the show, or even the car chase in one of the early episodes is almost like panel for panel one of the big action scenes in one of the early issues. Moving away from the comparison, the book on its own is so much fun. The artwork is great. It shifts based on the issue, but most of it is in this really cool minimalist style. Here, let me show you. Here, kind of get the vibe. Come on, bro. Boomerang arrow. Because it's a longer run too, they do some really fun experimental things. I mean, so on the less experimental side, Kate goes to LA for a portion where she's like a PI out there, which is really fun. But then they also have issues that are completely from the villain's perspective. They have an issue that's completely from the dog's perspective, where you actually see these same panels show up in a later issue. But when it's from the dog's perspective, the dialogue is all grayed out except for the words that he understands, like stay or good boy. It's actually kind of cute. The whole run has a really great arc because of its length. They go on some tangents and they can explore a few different parts of the world, but they tie all those threads together by the end in a really satisfying way while centering around kind of the main conflict. So I really enjoyed this. This is a solid 4 out of 5 for me. Let me know if you've read it or if you have any thoughts.